Hey, what's up? My name is PJ, and in this video we are finally doing Raw Edit Challenge results number 6. Hope you enjoy. Alright legends, it's been a little while. I've been working some crazy hours at my retail job, living that Christmas retail life. It's been okay though. I mean, in a way it's been like a nice little rest from my videos, but obviously I'd much rather be doing this than working for someone else. But anyway, here we go. I'm sorry about the noise. You might be able to hear it's a warm summer's day in Melbourne, Australia, and the cicadas are deafening outside, so I'm sorry if that comes through a bit, but let's get right into it. I can't wait. So this is where we started. This is my artificial light group portrait of the band Forever Ends Here. Let's get right into it. This is where we started. This is the raw file. You can see fairly evenly lit. The light falls off here. Good potential. I really love the photo. I'm very proud of this photo. So let's get right into it. I think, by the way, I think we had a record number again of entries. This is how many entries we had, a whole page worth. Thank you so much to everyone who entered. We actually probably smashed all the previous records. I had all 15 submissions in one day, which was fantastic. And yeah, I think we had probably 26 entries in total, which is really cool. So big love to you guys at the Legends Club. You can see me rocking my cheeky new Legends Club t-shirts. Let's get right into it. I think there's so much potential in this file, and I think you guys have proven that to me. You've shown me some edits. I actually even went back and redid my own edit because just looking at some of the ones that came in, I was so impressed. I thought I need to give it another crack, but I'll talk more about that later. So let's get right into it. Andrew Basso, I've got to say this is probably my favorite edit, so this is a good one to start on. It's just different. It's like different to everything else that I see. It's very clean. There's no grain. I don't know how to describe it other than smooth and clean. Basso, I know you shoot a lot with strobes, so this is probably right up your alley, this sort of thing. You're probably an expert, and I think this is outstanding. Like I said, I redid my own edit, and this was definitely an influence. I'll show you my old edit and my new one, and I definitely was inspired a little bit by this, so I'll show you that later, but this is A+. Great job, Basso. Kai Dixon, I think from Manchester. Interesting, man. You've gone for this real sort of like spotlight look. Probably split toned. I can see some like yellows or greens in the skin tones. We've got this vignette. Still some nice bright colorful tones in the sky. Deep blacks. Cool job, man. Very unique, very different. I like it. Luke Charoni. Where's Luke from? Luke is from Sydney. Looks like a quite minimal edit. Looks like he's crunched the blacks a little bit. Nice vivid tones in the skies. A lot less contrast than some of the other ones, but perhaps a lot more natural. I don't think he's changed the crop or anything, but nice, simple, effective. Good job, Luke. Travis Massingill from Texas. Travis is also a artificial light shooter, so you did a really good job, Travis. Very bright, very vivid, as I've come to expect from looking at your photos. Yeah, just punchy, contrasty, saturated. It's definitely the Travis Massingill look, the Travis style. Thanks for your submission, Trav. This one, I don't know how to pronounce this name because it was in Russian in the email. I think it was Russian. I'm pretty sure it was Andre or some sort of variation of Andre, so I'm so sorry if I'm getting a name wrong. Let's just say Andre from Russia. I'm hoping that's right. It's a bit of a small file, I can't zoom in, but from this size it looks good. It looks very sharp, very clean. I can tell Andre's probably a artificial light shooter as well because it doesn't look like a visco edit. It just looks clean, simple. It looks honestly very realistic to what this sort of thing looks like in real life. So I think that's really cool. Good job, man. This one is from Vince Shaw from Sydney. This is a bit of an interesting one. Vince, I can see you've changed the crop. I can see you've put some sort of textures, some overlays on it. I really like the way that your edit contours the cheeks. It's a little kind of gritty and detailed for my taste. Like personally, I don't like that effect on my own, like in my own style. But it's definitely something very unique. You've made it look like almost like a wet plate or one of those old school developing processes. I don't know the specifics, but that's just the first thought that comes to mind. So yeah, I've got this interesting texture on it. Funnily enough, it makes the guys look really hairy, which is interesting as well. Kane's got this kind of werewolf thing going on the side here. But like I said, I really like the way that it contours the cheeks. Aaron's got some amazing facial structure here, and you're really showing that off. So I think that's really cool, man. Very good job. Next one is Rui Marquez from Portugal, I think. Portugal, yeah. Rui, I still don't know how to say your name properly, so I'm guessing, and I think I'm close-ish. I'm nearly there. You still have to send me that video of you pronouncing it so I can get it right. Anyway, very cool edit. I love the purple tones. It's sort of a bit different from the other ones I've seen. I've seen a lot more blue or like dark blue. This is very... it's got a very defined color palette between orange and purple. Skin tones are looking pretty natural. Very smooth, clean, but still quite detailed, bright, vivid, punchy. I love the colors, man, and I especially love the warm tones. Like I always love a bit of warmth in a photo, so I think that's a really good job, Rui. Rolton Thode. I'm pretty sure that Rolton is from Bonaire, if I'm not mistaken, which is an island somewhere in the Bahamas, which I thought was really cool. So it's a pleasure to have you involved in the challenge and a pleasure to display your photo. So thanks, man. Looks good. Very, very crushed blacks, that sort of like washed out blacks feel, which I think a lot of people do for more dynamic range. I really love the way that the clouds came out in yours. I think that's really interesting and really different to everyone else. You've got those like deep reds and almost like blacks in the clouds. You've really made it feel like it's late, like the final light of the day, like the dying light of a sunset. So I think that's really cool. Like I said, crushed blacks for some dynamic range, but you've really given it that dusk feel, which is really cool. Thanks, Rolton. Michael Hancock. Michael, you've done a really good job, my friend. I think Michael is from North Carolina, if not mistaken. Very blue skies. It's almost the complete opposite to Rolton's one in the last edit, and you've made it look more like daytime or more like late afternoon, perhaps, because the skies are very blue, but there's still a lot of nice detail, nice pink tones in the sky. The foreground is very well lit, and the faces, you've taken a lot of the shadows out, but it's still... it's very flattering, very smooth, while still remaining detailed as well. So it looks good. Great job, Michael. Liam Davidson. I think this is really, really slick. Liam's from Melbourne. Very, very punchy colors. I'm all about the colors, all about the warmth. Deep reds in the sky. Skin tones. Fantastic. Nice deep blacks. Not too blown out on the highlights. Very smooth, very flattering. I can't fault that at all. That's an excellent edit, Liam. I'm really happy with that. Christian Patton from the UK. Christian, this is kind of... It doesn't look anything like Rolton's, but it's kind of the same in the fact that it's gone for that dying light feel. It definitely feels like an after sunset type of deal. A lot cooler, a lot more purple or like bluey purpley tones in the sky, and the foreground and the sort of edges are kind of vignetted. It's darkened off down here, off to the sides. Yeah, you've made it look like it does look artificial because the light on the faces is quite light. The light on the faces is quite white. Wow, say that 10 times quickly. So it kind of looks like, maybe a street light or something, but cool, unique, very good. I like it, Christian. Thanks. Joseph Kinyoda. Joseph, thank you so much for the submission, man. In your email, you didn't include where you were from, so I had to do a bit of an Instagram search, and I'm pretty sure You are from Kenya, if I'm not mistaken. So all the way from East Africa, thank you so much for being my first, to my knowledge, my first African legend in the Big Pants community. Cool edit, man. You've changed the crop, which points to originality. You've kind of reimagined what I saw, which is cool. It is cool. Unfortunately, it's taken out the Sydney Harbour Bridge as well. But like I said, you've reimagined it. Very different edit. The highlights look a little blown out, but it's that kind of like, I don't know exactly what it is, but the word that comes to mind is bleached look, which I think is like some sort of film processing. But anyway, split toned, crunched blacks, or maybe it's just like a tone curve with like the green, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very good. It's very contrasty, but it's still quite smooth. It's not harsh or unflattering in the skin. That's cool, man. Unique, very different to every other one, and I appreciate the submission. Next one is Kian Marangos. Kian, your edits lately have been sick. I was stalking your Flickr the other day and your landscapes are off the heezy. So this one, no different, very vivid, very bright. As I've mentioned in the past, I love warm tones. So this is definitely right up my alley. I think there's a couple of highlights on the skin that are a little blown out, but I totally don't mind that. I think it's all part of it, and it's all part of the very bright, punchy feel of it. And yeah, I didn't ask you guys to do like a Photoshop retouch or anything. So for a live room edit, I think this is very, very slick. I love the colors, man. Thanks for the submission. Ashley Naden. Ashley, you always think outside the box. I think, which is probably the opposite to most people. I think you've added some distortion, because I think you've added some distortion, because if I compare it to others, the guys look a little more round. You've kind of made it look like it was shot on a fisheye, which is interesting. But the colors are very out there. There's like greens down here. Sorry, greens, reds, blues, yellows. Definitely the most colorful. Interesting, very interesting. I always like the way that you take it to a place where no one else does. So thanks again for the edit, Ashley, from Derby in the UK. My apologies if you can hear the dog barking in the background. It is just like a madhouse in here today. So the very last edit is Andrew Bromley from Melbourne. Andy, man, you have really developed your own style, and I always appreciate seeing that in your photos. Again, you've changed the crop. It's not quite square, I don't think. And personally, I like to keep it either rectangle. I like to keep it either the original ratio or perfect square, because otherwise it's really hard to print and it's really hard to post sometimes. Actually, it's probably not a big deal these days, but I don't know. Personally, I'm really anal about my aspect ratios, but for the purpose of this, it's absolutely fine. It's very cool crop. You've made it a bit more symmetrical than it was, I think. Looks like definitely like it was shot on an old film. Split toned, nice deep blues, vivid warm tones as well. And like I said, it's your own style, Andy, and you are absolutely rocking it at the moment. Thank you so much, Andrew Bromley from Melbourne. Okay, so here we are to the end. This is where the photo was to begin with. And I had my own edit already. I had my own one ready before I had even started this challenge, and it was this one. Just to show you the comparison. Change the crop slightly. I like to try and make my skin tones kind of like golden if I can. I like warm but still kind of neutral. So I like that sort of thing. I often like contrast, but looking at my edit, which I was previously very happy with, I thought, seeing as I had so many great ones come in, I would do my own. And like I mentioned at the start, it was very much inspired by a couple of them, particularly Andrew Basso, because it's just not what I expected. So I decided instead of this, for this like dark dusky thing, I tried to make it a little more blue and a bit more vibrant. So this is what I came up with. Yeah, I just tried to make it a little bit more vivid, a little bit more out there, a little bit more like hyper realistic, but still natural, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, tried to make it nice and vivid. Added a lot more blues, which I don't usually do, and even tried some split tones as well. And that's what I came up with. So I'm sorry I can't include, I'm sorry if you've been watching this and you haven't seen your edits, I can't include all of them. I'll just give you guys a quick shout out if you didn't make it in. I'll just give you guys a quick shout out for all the people that I have on here that didn't make it in. Thank you for your patience and I appreciate it if you watch the video anyway. So we've got Mary Carter, Ruby Boland, Nico Ford, Zara Burgess, Lucinda Goodwin, Benjamin Sandness from Iowa, which I'm pretty sure is a new name. Nice to see you involved, Benjamin. We've got Angela Castile, Nat Parham or Parnham. I can't even read my own writing. I think it's Parham. Zondi, I hope I said that right, from Poland, which is also a new viewer. And of course, we've got your boy JXL, Jeremy X Lewis from Brisbane. There it is, Raw Edit Challenge number 6. I'm not sure if I'll have time to do another Raw Edit Challenge by the end of the year. But if not, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you legends that have been involved. I appreciate you so much. Whatever you celebrate, whatever you do over the festive season, I hope you have a very happy and healthy time. And I just want to wish you guys all the very best for the new year. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you learned something, give me a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and I will see you in the next video. Bye.